How long does it take for a transaction to update in my available balance?
Hello and welcome. Today, we're going to talk about a very common and critical topic. How long does it take for a transaction to update in your available balance? This might seem straightforward, but it's a process with multiple factors at play. Let's break it down.
What happens when you make a transaction?
When you make a transaction, it typically falls into one of two categories: debit or credit. Debit transactions involve spending your money, like when you make a purchase or withdraw cash. Credit transactions involve receiving money, like when you deposit a check or receive a direct deposit. Once you initiate a transaction, it usually takes a little time for it to process. The duration of this process can depend on the type of transaction, the method of transaction, the institutions involved, and other factors.
Typical transaction times.
So how long does it typically take for a transaction to update in your available balance? The answer varies. Electronic transactions, such as online transfers or card payments, are typically the fastest. They can often show up in your available balance within minutes, but they might take up to 24 hours. Check deposits often take longer. After you deposit a check, it may take several days for the funds to become available in your account. This is because the bank needs to verify that the check is legitimate and that the payer's account has sufficient funds. ATM withdrawals and deposits may reflect immediately in your available balance, but depending on your bank's policies and the specific ATM used, there might be a delay. Bank-to-bank transfers can take several business days, especially if the banks are in different countries. The banks need to communicate with each other to complete the transaction.
Factors that can affect transaction times.
Several factors can affect how long it takes for a transaction to update in your available balance. These include the time of day or week. Transactions made late in the day, on weekends, or on holidays may take longer to process. The banks or financial institutions involved. Different banks have different policies and processing times. The method of transaction. As mentioned earlier, electronic transactions are usually faster than check deposits or bank-to-bank transfers. Any potential issues or delays. For example, if there's a problem with the payer's account in the case of a check deposit, this could delay the transaction. So, in conclusion, the time it takes for a transaction to update in your available balance can vary quite a bit. It can be almost immediate, or it could take several days, depending on a range of factors. Remember, if you're unsure or if a transaction is taking longer than you expected, it's always a good idea to reach out to your bank for more information. Thanks for watching, and I hope this video has shed some light on the process behind bank transactions.